Let's take a tour of the garden, shall we? All right, here I got loofah. It's kind of like a gourd. Gonna be a vine. I got loofah started. Here for the beds, I've got a few nasties. These are rudbeckias, which are just for the landscaping, but also a lot of dill. Gonna have that around the garden beds. For the garden beds, we also have some marigolds going. Those are coming out really good. Started those from seed. We've got our carrots with the onions that are planted as companion plants to repel insects. These things are doing phenomenal. Why these are not doing as good as these, I do not know. We have the next generation of onions. Those are going to go into the onion bed. As a side note, I have some self-seeding sunflowers. Makes it easy. So speaking of onions and garlic and onion beds, we've got dill that's self-seeded, and that's growing. Although we do not want these devil vines. Holy moly, they get everywhere. I have to read if the clover is beneficial or harmful for them or not, but we'll see. Here we've got the pepper beds. There we've got jalapenos. They're starting to sprout. Habaneros, nasturtiums and marigolds in here, as well as a lot of vines we don't need. Another ghost chili plant. Last year, if I can find a picture, I had one probably grew good 3 feet high. Super chilies, poblanos. This one is I believe it's the Jamaican. There we got eggplant. Got some clover growing wild in the middle, bring in the pollinators. Tomato beds are doing great. I mean, these things, here, let's see if we can zoom out a little. And nasturtiums, that's been in there for 4 weeks, and it's just absolutely just coming alive in the soil. But the tomatoes are doing well. Those are growing, and those guys are just turning into absolute bushes. So, tomatoes. Our greens, spinach, started from seed weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Probably 6-8 weeks. Transplanted them, doing well. The lettuce, this lettuce, I cut down a week and a half ago, and it's a cut and come again. Will sprout up. These I cut too close down, but as you can see, they're coming back. And then this celery, grown from grocery store lumps. Over here, dill that started, I think it's mammoth. I mean, that thing is just huge. That's growing. I have to pull out those morning glories. Those are going to be zucchini. And I made this as a tower to see. I saw a thing on Pinterest having a tower, and you just feed the vine upwards. Over here, blueberry 1, those are doing good. Gonna have some berries this year, not a lot. Blueberry 2, just gotta pull up the weeds. I gotta see if clover is detrimental, helps. If anything, the nitrogen might help with the vegetative growth of these guys. Have a few berries there. Raspberry 2 is doing great. Raspberry 1, struggling, but still going. So I'm going to let that one go. The potato crates, those are coming along nicely. I rotate those 90 degrees every day so it gets equal distribution of sunlight. This is a fig tree. And I happened to buy one last year, not knowing what I was going to do with it. And this year I decided that this space along the eastern part of the fence would be a good place for it. So I'm going to clear out some of the extra vegetation around it so it gets a good deal of sunlight through the day. But those are a lot like grapes and raspberries and blueberries, where you get growth, the first year and second year growth, and you do pruning every year with the first year and the second year branches, because that'll determine what'll end up growing on there. Grapevine 1 looks like it's rooting pretty good, getting new growth. Grapevine 2 is doing phenomenal. And I'm going to have to build the esplanders, I hope I pronounced that right, with the wires going across to give them a framework, and it'll be their eventual home frame. These are, I'm forgetting the names, but they're natural plants, pollinators, and they get the big puffy tops that come out like, almost like, yeah, the word's escaping me right now, but whatever. And then this is the asparagus. I guess if anything, I need to let this go, because this growth is translating into the health of the rhizomes, which is what, when you buy asparagus for something like the store, I bought them from Menards, you plant them in the ground, and then you'll get your shoots like after a year or two. This year I actually had a harvest, so that meant that the ones I had were already a year old when I planted them. Last year was year 2, this was year 3. Boom, I got the harvest. And then this, all you need to do is just let them go. And I guess those little pods will be the seed pods, so if I want to start new ones, which I'll experiment with, I've got that. Got our bird bath, which the robins love and I need to fill up. Composting station 1, composting station 2. I've started the corn seeds, so in probably 2-3 weeks, I'll plant the corn there and protect them so that the rabbits don't get to them. And those will end up growing 6 feet tall. This little spot here, I had to figure out what to do there. I'll end up planting something there. This year I decided I'm going to run 1.5 PVC tube under the ground about 8 inches, ran the hose through there, so that way I've got grass. Now I don't have to keep worrying about the lawnmower possibly chewing up the hose. Here, strawberries. We're gonna have strawberries this year too. Not a lot, but they're coming out. And then these, I figure once the clover subsides, I'll just figure, you know what, I'll just the strawberries just spread over to there. Why not make it all strawberries? The more the merrier. That is a mint, which technically those things spread like mad, but they're good complementary plants because of the mint in them. Oh yeah, oh wow, it's a great smell. It will repel certain predatory insects that are bad for your garden plants. And also, I don't know if those will necessarily attract positive ones, but they're complementary. That I might just have as dill, and that TBD, or I'll switch it around, figuring out what to do as far as sunlight. If I'm only getting the one harvest in the spring, then I'll make this a bed of dill so that by the time it gets tall and creates a shade, it won't matter so much for the strawberries. Maybe the same thing here, although the onions, these big honkers here, looks like we got something coming up the middle. Those were the ones that overwintered. Those are doing amazing. It's like now that I understand what the heck I'm doing with onions, I'm actually getting a yield. I'm trying to think if there's anything else plant-wise. Sunflower, self-seeded. I'll transplant that guy. But yeah, this is the garden space. Oh yeah, and I just got the hose kit this week. I'm going to set up an irrigation system that's going to run. It's going to have a timer. There'll be 2 lines. Line 1, they both be connected to a timer. Line 1 will run to each bed, and each bed will have drip lines going across. Drip lines, drip lines, drip lines, drip lines, drip lines. That I'm just going to coil it around so it waters the whole bed. And then I'll run a second line, which will go to the bird bath. So that the bird bath will always be full. I won't have to refill it. I won't have to worry about it on hot days like today. And the birds get to enjoy it all day. The robins usually go there in the morning and the evening. In the evening, there's a robin around her. I think it set up a nest. Full-on bath. I mean, full deal, where then it goes onto the fence line, cleans itself, gets under the wings, a little bit on the body, everything. So yeah, it's a busy garden this year, a lot going on. That'll have more greens. That maybe I'll get some tobacco over there just for giggles, practice growing that. And then I got to figure out where to put the loofah. Maybe I could make loofah towers here. That might be a good idea, loofah towers. Oh, one more thing. Two more things. Here is the unofficial tree nursery. Trees that I just had to grow. Save them from the ground and then grow them out. Oldest one is a silver maple, which I think is about 4 years old. We got silver maple. I'm not sure what kind of maple. Norwegian maybe. Cottonwood. I love cottonwoods. Elm. The elm tree in front of my old place. Going on 3 years old, and that thing's already 20 feet tall. It's crazy. Silver maple, and that one is a birch of some kind. But this is a little secret. Mosquito bucket. And you say, why make a mosquito bucket? Well, what you do is there's pellets with like a poison that you can get. And you put this, it comes either pellets or granular, and what you do is you create an environment for mosquitoes, in which case paint it black, fill it with water, put in your pellets, and then put in vegetation, something really swampy, so that will attract the mosquitoes. They'll lay their eggs in there, and then the poison will kill the eggs, and that's how you control the mosquito population. So I've got this mosquito bucket in the shade, and yeah, it turns out I was trying to make a natural barrel with that. Didn't work. The water just, it seeped through the sides, and yeah. So that's gonna become a nice smelling whiskey scented planter. And that's the garden.